Welcome to Weekly Digest, where we highlight the works of ministers of government as they push the administration's development agenda. In remembrance of Queen Elizabeth II, Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips reflected on her service to the world and her visits to Guyana.
Photos of those times show great celebration and enthusiasm by Guyanese people for her visit. Indeed, the legacy of Her late Majesty is etched in Guyana's history.
The Justice Education Society, in collaboration with the Canadian government and the Ministry of Home Affairs, launched its Strengthening Justice for Women, Girls and Indigenous People project. The project is aimed at ensuring that these groups have equal access to justice and are empowered to become less vulnerable to violence.
It is an ongoing struggle and a work in progress to bring us at a point where we can all feel safe in the society in totality with respect to how we relate to women and girls, make them safe, but also particularly to pay more attention to the life and circumstances of our Amerindian peoples.
The Auditor General's report for 2021 was on Monday presented to the Speaker of the National Assembly, Manzoor Nadir, ahead of the statutory deadline. 5 performance audit reports were also handed over.
We must feel proud that while windfalls are coming our way in terms of the resources, that all arms of the state are ensuring that the resources at our disposal is going to be transparent, traceable, and used in the most efficient way possible.
In the health sector, the 19 students who graduated from the 5-month Community Health Workers Training Program are being encouraged to continue learning to improve and grow in the health profession.
What we don't want is people to come into the sector and stagnate. With this program, it is great that you have passed and you're doing well, but now you have to gain some experience. When you gain those experience, we hope that you will start thinking about the next step. What else would you like to do in health? And once you start thinking about those next steps, we will be there to facilitate you so that you can grow and develop.
The Ministry of Health received the 50 wheelchairs from the Mohan Tandy Foundation in collaboration with the Rotary Club of Georgetown. The donation will greatly assist the Ministry of Health's wheelchair initiative.
Over the last year or so, we have been making a dedicated effort to acquire wheelchairs so that we can satisfy this need. There's still an unmet need, and I think these 50 wheelchairs would come in very, very handy, especially in the interior communities.
Residents of Number 7 Village and the surrounding communities in Berbice benefit from a newly commissioned health center. This is a demonstration of the PPPC government's commitment to ensuring residents receive primary health care in a comfortable environment.
We have an integral role to play in ensuring that there is optimal delivery of healthcare services. So we hope that this facility is going to improve and enhance the lives of people within the contiguous villages. We also hope that the services that are going to be provided, that those services are going to meet you practically every day.
COVID-19 remains a public health emergency since the World Health Organization and the Center for Disease Control have not yet declared any information which suggests otherwise.
We take a lot of our guidance both from CDC and WHO. The WHO, they have a special committee responsible for public health emergency. That committee is scheduled to meet maybe in a month's time. And when that committee meets, it would evaluate where we are with the pandemic and then make a decision as to whether we continue in the mode that we are in, meaning that we have a public health emergency. So they would have to change that status. But as of now, the status has not changed, and therefore every country would have to be on alert.
Taking a look at agriculture, hundreds of fisher folks have already received the government's $150,000 one-off cash grant to cushion the effects of low catches.
we are here this afternoon to fulfill promises. A commitment and a promise was made by the government a few months ago that we will help fisher folks across the country. It was announced by His Excellency the President, and when it started, we started to collect the names, and today we are here to deliver on the commitment that was made by the PPP civic government, and you will receive your grant here this afternoon.
In the infrastructure sector, contractors in Buxton on Sunday commenced the training in taxation as part of government's policy to ensure all local contractors get the opportunity to benefit from government contracts.
The PPPC administration, President Ali's government, want to ensure every small, medium, large contractor get a piece of the pie for the development of Guyana. We want to ensure Afro-Guyanese contractors, just like Indo-Guyanese contractors, get work.
The dream of 200 families in Lethem, Region 9, of owning their own homes is now becoming reality after government issued them with house lots.
The exercise. The house lot allocation is in keeping with the government's objective to ensure all citizens have access to safe and affordable housing.
You have a caring government that is here to help to ease the burden of its citizens.
Residents of Enmore, East Coast, Demerara, and the neighboring communities were engaged with a team of government ministers where issues were highlighted and the solutions found.
Before we leave here, we will all work out work program or modalities of how we can get the best possible options that have an outcome that is beneficial for everyone. Are we clear? So I'm not here to railroad anyone. I'm here to help fix the system. And I'm here to also help you.
Government also distributed 1,200 house lots in Region 3 as they march on to fulfill the promise of allocating 50,000 house lots in 5 years.
We are continuously and always in pursuit of our target, our national target of 50,000 lots in our first 5 years in office. So we do welcome the new applications, and we have all of our housing services here today for which we will respond to you. And we especially like to support our young people to ensuring that they realize their dreams.
In education, some 8 females and 10 males residing in Mainstay Wayaka, Region 2, will soon become licensed tractor operators as the Board of Industrial Training, BIT, will be rolling out its course. Minister of Labour Joseph Hamilton made the announcement over the weekend during a visit to the village.
I'm hoping that you can influence other young women to think outside the box. So what you're doing is not just for yourself, it's to become an example, to become a trailblazer for other young women who can say that if you can do it, I also can do it. So you have to think outside the box.
The Mocha Arcadia Primary School on Wednesday benefited from a donation of 20 fans and 2 Samsung smart televisions. The donation fulfills a commitment made by President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali during an outreach to Mocha earlier this month.
Even more is that our children across Guyana, and it matters not what region or what community you're from, our children across Guyana means the world to us, and we are going to make them, and we have always done so, but we'll continue to make them a priority in this country.
179 residents of Region 10 will soon gain life skills as the Board of Industrial Training, BIT, is currently conducting a special skills training program there. The training seeks to address the labor deficiency in the region.
We wanted to focus and get as far as we can with the persons who are needed with specific skills in some areas that we're deficient in the country.
In culture, as the euphoria unfolds over Guyana's Cricket Carnival, His Excellency's One Guyana initiative took center stage with scintillating music, arts and craft, and a display of foods that tease appetites. Guyanese and foreigners gyrated under the night of the sky at the One Guyana concert at the National Stadium Providence.
I'm pretty excited generally about all our events, but the One Guyana concert tomorrow night is going to be something very special to me. It's special to the president because that's his baby.
All Things Indigenous from Aishalton to Parima created a showcase filled with pride. The smell of wild meats over fire, bottles of potato wine and paiwari were laid out as farine and tasso were done in song and dance, portraying a Guyana ready for tourism.
This event tonight is in collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism, and we are together collaborating in making Guyana a showpiece for a tourist destination. And here tonight we had the indigenous cultural groups, and they have presented to this nation and to the international community, our visitors, how well we can showcase our culture.
Government has launched the Streetlight Project to ensure children are kept off the streets. The launch comes as Guyana observes Child Protection Week 2022, themed Keeping Children Safe through Community Collaboration.
Country where there is no child on the street. If that child needs shelter and food and education and everything else that is a child's right, the ministry is committed to providing that. The ministry is also committed to working with the parents and the family to ensuring that when that child goes back into the family's care, those things will be provided. Because we will create a database and follow up those children to ensure that they have stability in their lives.
Some 400 residents of Anai, Region 9, now have access to potable water for the first time as government recently commissioned a $26 million well in the community. This forms part of government's policy to providing safe and reliable water to hinterland communities.
And with this now, it means by and large the entire community will be serviced. So you're about 98% coverage in the area. And this is towards a target of ensuring that we are able to deliver by 2025 100% coverage across the hinterland communities of Guyana.
As part of the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security's Child Protection Week exercise, a seedling planting exercise was held at the Sophia Children and Family Home. The exercise, dubbed Nurture with Nature, aims to teach persons how to care for plants in the same way they would a child.
If together an adult and a child can nurture a plant with watering that plant, with planting it with the right soil, with even showering it with love, it will bring home to both the parent and the child, or the adult and the child, how necessary it is, as you look at the plant's growth and survival, how necessary it is to have those same elements in a child's life.
As Cricket Carnival filled the air, government continued its national cleanup campaign, this time around the capital city. Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips, along with members of the joint services and the private sector, led a campaign along the Mandela to Eccles 4-lane highway.
What we're seeing is that there's a lot of litter on this roadway. Right? This should not happen. It means that people are deliberately throwing their garbage out through the windows as they drive along this highway, or they're putting the garbage in bags and bring it and deposit it along this roadway.
That's it for this edition of Weekly Digest. For these and other government-related information, do log on to our website, dpi.gov.gy, and our social media platforms as well. Goodbye.